To draw with, I am going to choose a pencil, but you could use a pen, a marker, or a colored pencil. First thing I'm going to draw is I'm going to draw an animal head. You could do a simple animal. I looked off how to draw an elephant picture. So if you want to look up how to draw an animal online, I think that's great. I just did a light sketch using pencil of my elephant, and I made sure to draw it really big because we're going to be filling these in with a variety of patterns and repeating designs. Okay, I finished my sketch. Now I'm going to count how many shapes I have drawn in my drawing. So I'm separating it into different shapes. I want about 10 to 15 shapes. That way I have a large variety or a big selection of different shapes that I can fill with different patterns and repeating designs. So I divided up my trunk because it was one big shape to smaller shapes, so I would have the right amount. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase all my number marks because I don't need those in my design. Next, I went in with a black marker and I started tracing each individual shape. So I'm just focusing on one shape at a time. And then I'm filling in that shape with a pattern or a repeating design. A repeating design is just one element repeated over and over again. Right now I'm doing stripes. A pattern would be maybe a couple of different things repeated over and over again. So I created a checkerboard pattern by adding horizontal lines and vertical lines repeating over and over and over. Next, I'm moving on to another shape. I repeat that first step of outlining the shape with my marker so I know what I need to fill in. Then I fill it in with a repeating design. You can choose repeating line or a shape. I chose a shape for this one. I chose a heart, and I did some upside down hearts and some right side up hearts, and I repeated that over and over and over. So we're practicing pattern, repetition, and variety. 3 principles of art. And I'm going to continue outlining my design. I even outlined my eye, and I colored it in, and I changed the shape a little bit. And I just did a repeating design over and over again. It's not necessarily a pattern. I just did a squiggly line going around the eye. And then I'm going to outline the other eye, doing the same thing, and I changed the shape to match the other one. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but that's okay. And we'll talk about symmetry later. So I colored it in, changed the shape, and I did another repeating design of zigzags. So we're just going to keep going, outlining the shape and filling it in with a design. For this one, I did a wavy line repetition or pattern. And as you can see, my tusks are not symmetrical, but that is okay. It still can be an interesting drawing. For some of your patterns, if you want to color them in with your marker, you can. Like I had some empty spaces in between some of my stripes, so I decided to color those in. I could also do that with my checkerboard, like on my ear, or even coloring in some of my hearts. You don't have to, but it's just another option. So I'm going to keep adding patterns and repeating designs all throughout my elephant. And remember, we also want to use variety, so don't use the same design over and over again. If you want to repeat a design once or twice, that's okay. We're also talking about repetition. But I also want to see variety, a big selection of different things. some variety. So as we talked about before, variety is a big selection of different things. So in the negative space, my elephant is in the positive space. It's the focus of my image. The negative space, or the background behind my elephant, I decided to use a variety of colors to fill in the empty space. I just did patches of color. If you wanted to, you could do stripes or you could do swirls. You could fill it in however you want. I just decided to add some color so I could have some contrast. We'll talk about contrasts more, but I wanted the bright, colorful sections to make the black and white and very detailed drawing stand out.